Once upon a time, a princess named Snow White lived in a castle with her father, the king, and her stepmother, the queen. Her father had always said to his daughter that she must be fair to everyone at court. People come here to the castle when they have a problem. They need a ruler to make a fair decision. Nothing is more important than to be fair. The queen, Snow White's stepmother, knew how much this meant to her husband. At first chance, she went to the magic mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
Snow White is the fairest one of all.
What? Yelled the queen. No one is more fair than I. The queen must have the best of everything. Everyone knows that. What could be more fair than that?
Snow White is the fairest one of all.
What do you know? You're a mirror, roared the queen, and she stormed off. Still, the queen was bothered. I cannot wait another day, she declared. The queen called for her servant, a huntsman. Find the reason to take Snow White deep into the woods, she said, pointing her long finger at the servant. Then kill her. The huntsman was shocked. But she was the queen, and what could he do?
I am going far away, but remember, you must be fair to everyone.
The queen told Snow White to go to the forest with the huntsman to fetch some flowers. The next day he took Snow White into the woods. When they reached the forest, the huntsman told Snow White, How can I say this to you? The queen, your stepmother, ordered me to kill you, he said. But I cannot. She did what? Snow White called out with alarm. You must run away, said the huntsman, far into the woods, now, and never come back to the castle. Snow White turned and ran into the woods as fast as she could. Deeper and deeper she ran. It was getting darker, and the wolf started to howl. Then all of a sudden, far away, there was a light. Who was living so deep into the woods? She stepped up closer. It was a cottage. Yet no sound came from the cottage, only lights from the windows. Hello? She said, knocking softly on the door. Hello? No one answered. The door was a little bit opened. She opened it some more and stepped in. Hello? Is anyone home? She looked around. What a mess! She had never seen a messier living room before. This cottage may be the biggest mess I've ever saw, she thought. But it's a roof over my head for tonight. Maybe if I clean around here, I can earn my sleep. As she cleaned, she thought about someone she already missed. Before her father had remarried, she and the prince who lived in the next kingdom were getting to know each other. After Snow White cleaned off the living room, she went upstairs. On the second floor there were 7 little beds lined up in a row, as if for children. Tired from cleaning, Snow White yawned and laid across all of the 7 beds. Soon she fell asleep. In the meantime, the 7 dwarfs were heading home. When they opened the door, you can imagine their surprise. What kind of magic is this? Said one of the dwarfs, whose name was Do. I wouldn't mind more magic like this, said another one of the dwarfs with a smile. His name was Dopey. We better check upstairs. There, lying across all of the beds, was a young lady, fast asleep. Who are you? Said all of the dwarfs at once. Snow White bolted awake. The 7 dwarfs could tell she was as surprised as they were. Soon they all relaxed and shared their stories. Snow White learned their names: Bashful, Dull, Dopey, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, and Sneezy. She told them all about her stepmother, that her stepmother tried to get a huntsman to kill her, that the huntsman had set her free in the woods, and she would never go back home again. "Stay here with us," said Bashful. "That's sweet," said Snow White. "But if I were to stay here at your home, I would have to do something for all of you. You already cleaned up our place. Keeping the house clean would be easy, as long as we all pitch in. I will let everyone know what part they can do, and I will do my share too." "Of course, that's fair," said Happy. "But there must be something else I could do for you," said Snow White. The 7 dwarfs shrugged. "Do you know how to read?" said Dole. "We have these books filled up with wonderful tales and would love to be able to read them." And so it was agreed that Snow White would give them reading lessons. The next morning, before they left for work, the 7 dwarfs warned Snow White that she must not open the door to anyone. After all, who knows what evil stepmother might do? The princess nodded in agreement, and the 7 dwarfs left the house. The princess prepared for her first reading lesson. She also prepared a good hot meal for the 7 dwarfs when they returned home that night. And so the day passed. Back at the castle, the queen mashed up to her mirror. "Mirror, mirror on the wall," she demanded, "who's the fairest of them all?" "Snow White is the fairest of them all," said the magic mirror. "That's impossible!" screamed the queen. "The girl's no longer alive." "Snow White lives," said the magic mirror, and the image was shown on the mirror of Snow White living in the cottage of the 7 dwarfs. The queen turned red with rage. She screamed, "She will not get away with this!" At the cottage of the dwarfs the next afternoon, when the 7 dwarfs were away at work, there was a knock on the door. "Who is it?" said Snow White. She remembered the warning of the 7 dwarfs not to open the door to anyone. "It's only a poor old woman," came a squeaky voice, "selling apples." Yes, it was the evil queen disguised as an old woman. "It's raining out here, my dear. Please let me in." "Poor thing," thought Snow White, "having to go door to door selling apples in the rain." And so she opened the door. "Take a look at this big red apple," said the old woman. "Lovely, my dear, isn't it?" "I would like very much to buy your apple," said Snow White, "but I have no money." "That fine comb in your hair will make a good trade." "Well, all right then." She took the comb out of her hair and gave it to the old woman, who then gave her the apple. Snow White took a big bite. Alas, the fruit was poisoned. At once, Snow White fell to the ground with a deep sleep. "Yes!" shouted the queen, pumping the air with her fists. Just then the door flew open. In marched the 7 dwarfs, home from the day's work. Shocked indeed they were to find Snow White lying on the floor, but there was nothing to help poor Snow White. She stayed absolutely still in her deep sleep. The 7 dwarfs gently lifted her into a glass coffin. Day and night they kept watch over her. One day the prince, ever since he had learned that Snow White was missing at the castle, he was searching for her far and wide. Now he had finally found her, but in such state. The prince pulled open the glass coffin. Her face seemed so fresh, even in that deep sleep. He gently took one of Snow White's hands in his own and kissed it. At once Snow White's eyes opened. With love's first kiss, the evil queen's spell was forever gone. Now nothing stood in the way for Snow White and the prince to be together forever. They returned to the kingdom and lived happily ever after. The end.
Now you have watched and listened to the story. Please don't forget to subscribe. Tembelea katika website ya www.swahiliroom.com kwa hadithi zaidi. Vile vile nyimbo za watoto kwa lugha ya Kiingereza. Unaweza kutembelea vile vile duka letu na kununua bidhaa mbalimbali. Usisahau kutembelea YouTube channel yetu Swahili Room na kusubscribe.